home. And we probably won't have to buy anything. We produce enough food ourselves, so we're in an unusual place. But you can buy from someone like us who produces enough. So we'll basically just go for whatever that is, 4 months without buying anything for food. So, and that will force us by making an artificial restriction for me to eat another head of broccoli and make it into all sorts of stuff. But right now there's so much food, it is just criminal. We don't know what to do with it all. You know, we had a vegetable soup the other day, we wild riced ourselves, and the lakes are within our region too, which is cool, and wild rice is part of the new diet. Venison is part of the new diet, percentage of meat consumed. Fish caught, part of the diet. At sustainable levels, that's why we added also some acreage for a fish operation like what we're proposing, which is actually a small footprint. So a lot of different things could be done. So, you know, I challenge you to try a local diet. You can go to you can go to our website, it's SuperiorFoodWeb.org, and at a point soon I'm going to have a button to my blog, which I'll start. And I'm just going to follow my thoughts and recipes of local eating and how much weight I've lost. I did a profile of my lipids and, you know, a very non-scientific thing, but I did my personal profile. At the end of the year I'll do another profile, just see what happened. And one good thing to recognize is you can't really be militant about it. At least I can't. Because then you won't carry it on when your year's done. You gotta make it work for you. So when if I'm over at your house for a potluck, I'll eat what's there. You know, I might avoid the most longest travel, but you know, and you know, at this other party there was ice cream and a brownie, and I just did it. It was so good. It was fleeting joy, I will say that. But it was good during that process. So I think it's important not to be, we're all in a process. And so what I hope to learn through this year is new recipes that make a wonderful life that's as rich as before, and it's easy to continue because it had enough fat, it had enough sugars, it had enough joy, decadence. So it's a process, and there's so many regulatory policy, big picture things, and little pictures. It's all going to have to piece together. So let's wait for that temperature and keep our work, and then eventually huge change will happen. The milk won't know what happened to it. Yeah.
Have you figured out now what you'll do in November, December, and January? I read the Barbara King Silver book.
Oh, well, I think we'll only go off the not buying for a week, and then our kids will be back in school again, and then we'll go to Christmas without buying stuff, and then during Christmas break we'll be back to buying stuff.
But what will you eat?
Oh, well,
canned enough?
We'll eat what we normally eat. But when the kids are there, we bought a bunch of stuff for them, like cereal. We don't eat cereal normally. We have granola, and so they're eating Frosted Flakes, you know, stuff like that. That could be grown here, but you know, so a lot of our purchasing will end up this year being boys, because they haven't chosen this. We've chosen this.
Should turkey make it through Thanksgiving?
Should turkey?
Does your turkey make it through Thanksgiving?
What do you mean, like?
Oh, you had an eat ham turkey up there.
Oh yeah, well actually, what was interesting for Thanksgiving, our tradition used to be, because we were only eating what was on the farm, our tradition for Thanksgiving was all 4 of us would go into a grocery store and we would buy something processed. And so we get, like one of our sons would get fish sticks. At that point we didn't have sweet corn. Now we have lots of sweet corn. And so my wife would buy corn, frozen corn. And we each would buy something decadent. Now, what we've done is we trade, someone picks our blueberries, and then he gives us a certain pounds of venison. And our celebrations are deer. And I've been fighting deer on our farm for years, and it sure feels good eating them. So, and deer aren't even native to this area. Deer are originally south of Pine City. They came up with the logging. They're here to stay just like we are, and so they're part of the diet. Yeah.
Do you sprout then in the winter time to have fresh vegetables?
We keep talking about sprouting.
Sprouted lentils are wonderful.
Yeah, and I grew lentils this year. Lentils is a tough crop to grow. It's one lentil per pot, and they're really low growing, and they fall over, and then the chipmunks ate it all. We're having a chipmunk problem in our garden. Fortunately, there's so much surplus, we're able to keep their pouches full. But yeah, sprouts would be a good thing. I wonder what we do for it. I'm not sure what we do for it.
Sunflower seed sprout.
Yeah, and the other thing that I've seen in books that we've talked about doing is taking some of the root crops, like and turnips, and then or mustard bases, and then you root cell them, and then you bring them out, and then they'll grow the top, and then you eat the top.
Like a chicory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think sprouts would be the easiest thing. But generally, our last salad is in October, and our first salad is in May, except for potlucks. So we try to organize a lot of potlucks, or get invited places. No, it's a curiosity. I think vitamin D is a real curiosity here. I just finished building a solar food dryer, which keeps the sun off of the product so you don't lose the nutrient value. We're going to try drying our blueberries because 12 gallons in the freezers take enough. And so we'll start drying the blueberries. But interesting with mushrooms, if you dry them in the sun, they'll actually get to medicinal levels of vitamin D. And so I think our area will really need to shift towards that, because there seems to be, everyone tested, one of the doctors actually just over our house a couple of days ago, every person she tested for vitamin D in the winter is deficient. Every person. She said, but I'm probably testing the people that are more likely to be deficient. So I think we're going to need to be creative with vitamin D in the northern, and this is separate from local foods, but we can produce our local mushrooms that will do that, and dry them in the sun. Yeah, like this.
Squeeze it.
No. That is amazing. I've never seen anything like it. It looks like a dinosaur egg. It's like one of those bird dinosaur eggs. What are they called? Yeah.
So we should probably think of time to a close, but if you have time to stick around.
I'll be around if anyone has questions. And SuperiorFoodWeb, eventually I'll put a, and if you want to be a subscriber, just email me and say you want to get them updated every so often.